The original person who I wanted to be the FBI director was RFK. And well, RFK isn't it. Okay. He's doing something else with health and human services or whatever it is. But Kash Patel is the next FBI director. Everybody hold on. This is good news. I can't tell you how big of a deal this is for me. This is up there with RFK. The deep state is crapping their pants over this. And I'm like, folks, I'm not exaggerating this. I'm not being extremist. This is huge. It's huge. I'm going to show you why this is huge. President-elect Donald Trump announced on Saturday evening that he has nominated Kash Patel, baby, to be the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. You're about to see a lot of people fired. You're about to see a whole different FBI, man, if this guy follows through on his word. It was stated that Kash is a brilliant lawyer. True. This dude sat there and was the prosecutor for Benghazi. And if you want to know the bleep storm that took place, you got to listen to Sean Ryan's podcast with Kash Patel here, because this guy will tell you some things that you've never heard of before. This guy read the JFK files. All of them. All of it. This guy has seen. The 9/11 files that you haven't seen. Guess who else has read all of it? This guy right here. This guy knows so much corruption, it'll make your head spin. And he's going to come out with a lot of stuff here. Who currently holds all the power on the Jeffrey Epstein list coming out? I'm going to say that again because I'm curious. Who currently in the United States government holds all the power on whether or not the Jeffrey Epstein list could be revealed? If you're thinking about the FBI director for Christopher Wray having all that power, ding, 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 you are correct. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. And guess who's about to be the next FBI director? Kash Patel, baby. Folks, if we get some UFO stuff coming out, I'll be happy. If we get the Epstein list coming out, you're going to see. This is why the deep state is scared. This is why the celebrities are leaving the country. This is why everybody is crapping their pants right now. Because this guy has the balls, I think. I think Kash is going to be cashing out with a lot of details. The JFK. I'm sure RFK Jr. would love to know. I think he's read the files a little bit. Kash is an incredible lawyer during my first term, where he served as the chief of staff at the Department of Defense, deputy director of national intelligence, senior director of counterterrorism at the National Security Council. And what's the media saying? Oh, he's not qualified. Oh, the guy hasn't done anything. What does he know? The guy sat there and has done a lot for this country. He's also tried over 60 jury trials, by the way. Trump said that Patel will lead the FBI in putting an end to the growing crime epidemic in America and dismantle the migrant criminal gangs and stop the evil scourge of human and drug trafficking across the border. Oh, it's going to be more than that, my friend. Oh, Donald. It's going to be way more than that. Do you notice everybody that Donald Trump's putting forward isn't part of the deep state? Dude, I don't want to say they're average Joe Americans. That's not what I want to say, because Marco Rubio, somebody could claim that he's part of the deep state. Everybody's putting forward is people that could sit there and just start firing massive amount of people. You got DOGE, right? The Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk and the great Vivek. Yeah, you're gonna see firings like you've never seen before. You thought The Apprentice was bad. You're fired. You're fired. Everybody at the table, you're fired. Get out. Leave the McDonald's. Don't you touch that damn fry. That's mine. So here's Kash Patel. I'll let it just do itself because I've already commented on it. But here he is with Glenn Beck.
I never believed that the CIA killed Kennedy.
No. You're talking to a guy that's read the entire JFK file.
You've seen all the secret stuff?
I've seen all of that, and I've seen the 7 pages of the 9/11 report. I've seen it all.
You don't say that to people that you can't tell what you saw.
Folks, this guy has been around. This guy has seen a two-tier justice system be thrown in his own face. This guy was being investigated without him even knowing. I think it might have been even the FBI. It was some sort of intelligence apparatus, maybe even the DOJ, sat there and looked into this guy without him even knowing. And 5 years later, Google comes out and says, oh, hey, by the way, we can let you know that you're investigated. They went after this guy. So this guy's not, he does not like the deep state. This is a guy that was sitting there trying to put terrorists behind bars for the Hillary Clinton debacle that took place in Benghazi. And what did our own government say? Yeah, just prosecute one guy. He wanted to go after 16 of the 19 guys. And they go, it's just politically more powerful just to get one of them. Don't worry about it. So what did he say? What did Kash say? He goes, they wouldn't let me prosecute all these terrorists. The United States government would not let him prosecute the terrorists that sat there and killed 4 American citizens. And you want to know the guy that they did get? Loose cannon, nothing really to go along with. Like what? How do I put this in a way that makes sense? Didn't really have much to do with Benghazi. That's the guy they went after. The other guys are fine. Other guys that were prosecuted are coming out soon. I think this year, actually. They're going to see the light of day again. Because our government has been corrupt for quite some time, and we're all tired of it. And then again, people can't understand why we all voted for Donald Trump. This is why I wanted this in 2016, by the way. This is what I wanted to see in 2016, was this type of selection. And it just shows you Donald Trump's learned. He's learned. And I hope that we get everything that we wish for. It's leaning that direction, but I don't know. I don't want to put all my trust in the people.
Scenes.
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That is that. I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a Black Book. Or the manifesto.
But the Black Book, it's not just sitting. I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
Folks, we're not done with this clip yet. That Black Book is the Epstein list. And this dude's like, hey, yeah, you know, the FBI director has control over that Black Book. I think Donald Trump on day one should just release it. Well, guess who on day one could potentially be the FBI director? The dude that's saying on day one that Donald Trump should release it.
And not just that. On day one, roll out all of the text messaging communications we were told were deleted. On day one, play the rest of the video of the pipe bomber. On day, one of the reforms I talk about in Government Gangsters is you need a central node to be continuously declassifying. This is another thing they do. They overclassify. And I'm telling you, as a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the stuff there to protect the deep state. Oh, no, you can't see that. Nothing to see here. Gina was a master at it, of doing it. And we still haven't seen half of the Russiagate report that we wrote. Still under lock and key. On how the ICA was originally constructed. We put 10,000 man hours against John Brennan's team that did it. And we found out why they came up with their bogus conclusion. But we couldn't sell it to the world because we couldn't talk about it. And the government gangsters came in and buried it. All of these things, there needs to be a continuing central power, whether it's the White House or offsite, that says every request that comes in, just right out the door, as long as it's not a major threat to national security.
I don't think I could put in the words how excited I am for this pick. I'm more. I mean, you guys saw how excited I was for Doge, for Elon and Vivek to be teamed up together to start, taking stuff a little bit serious, because I'm tired of people spending all our tax dollars on frivolous crap, a $20,000 toilet seat or $85,000 for a bag of nuts. That one's not an exaggeration on either of those, by the way. I'm tired of people spending our money because it's not their money that they're spending. It's all of our money. It's sending 60 billion here. Oh, here's China. Here's $100 million. No big deal. We want you to sit there and test to see if dogs are gay. That's a real thing, by the way. I'm more excited. This is the greatest pick I could have wanted. And I hope Kash doesn't fail me here. He might. But there's some big stuff coming out. And here's CNN talking about it.
With you and just get your reaction to this news tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a terrible development for the men and women of the FBI and also for the nation that depends on a highly functioning, professional, independent Federal Bureau of Investigation. The fact that Kash Patel is profoundly unqualified for this job is not even like a matter for debate. So I think what we should really be thinking about right now is, what does this signal in terms of Donald Trump's intent for the FBI? The installation, or the nomination, I guess we should say at this point, of Kash Patel as FBI director can only possibly be a plan to disrupt, to dismantle, to distract the FBI, and to possibly use it as a tool for the president's political agenda.
I mean, partially that's true, yes, to disrupt, to dismantle an entire organization that has been corrupted, that is ran by the industrial machine, the war complex, the whatever you want to call it, the deep state. It's too vague, but it gets the job done in terms of describing what the FBI is and this whole military industrial complex that's been taking place. Yeah, it needs to be dismantled. That's why I'm calling it the Great Reset, the Trump reset, baby, the golden Renaissance era.
And, as an organization, we know what that.
By the way, this is Andrew McCabe. The guy's a nut job.
Looks like. This country has been there before, right? The pre-Watergate FBI, the J. Edgar Hoover FBI, struck fear in the hearts of Americans across the spectrum of politicians, people in entertainment, people in the civil rights community, because the director operated at the direction of presidents to collect political intelligence and to utilize the legal authorities, the investigative authorities of the FBI to terrorize and intimidate Americans. So the question is that where we're going back to with this nomination? I would argue that Kash Patel would be the perfect person for Donald Trump to nominate if that's in fact his intent for the FBI.
Well, we actually know his intent for the FBI because he talked about it. And his intent for the FBI was to sit there and get rid of basically anything and everything that had to do with it. So he was on the Sean Ryan podcast, and he actually talked about what he was going to do if, somebody was going to be the FBI director. And so he came out and was basically saying, oh, well, whoever on day one's there, we got to basically get rid of everybody. So here he is.
Intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you Intel shops? I'd break.
And allegedly, this guy's pretty close to Vivek as well. I think they were good friends. Well, he wanted to sit there and dismantle the FBI. So I think you're going to see some mega changes here coming up in the next few weeks. And this is what we needed, folks. This is what we needed. Finally, I feel for the first time in my life that things are shifting back to the way that they were supposed to be. Somehow, I don't know what happened, but around 2016, we stepped on a butterfly and we entered into a different alternate universe, man. Because everything had been asked backwards for so long. And then finally, somebody stepped onto the butterfly. I don't know what happened. Donald Trump gets elected again. Thank you, baby. And we're getting all these great picks. RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, Kash Patel, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. I mean, the list goes on of what we got here. You got people leading the brigade that aren't part of the deep state. I'm sure you could probably make a case for a few of them, for sure. But you got Ian Miller up there for us that's going to sit there and speak on behalf of the American. All these people are going to speak on behalf of the American people. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. And I'll be pissed if I am. If stuff doesn't start getting done, I got no qualms coming out. I'm not beholden to Donald Trump. I love the guy, right? I mean, I've been outspoken for. I've voted for the guy 3 times now. But that doesn't mean I'm beholden to him. If he does something I don't like, then I'm going to call it out. But right now, I'm hoping that he comes out swinging here on day one. I want to see on January 20th, like after the inauguration, after we're celebrating, right? We're getting all drunk and having our cigars. Woo, look at that, making awesome. Donald Trump's back in office. It's going to be an event. January 20th can't come soon enough. I think on that first day, that first week, you're going to see some crazy stuff. It's going to be like that scene from Back to the Future when this baby hits 88 miles an hour. Marty, you're going to see some freaking shit. When people get in there, you're going to see some crazy stuff.